Hi everyone, this is the PlanesTalkers. This is Sean.
This is Rez.
And we're here reviewing the blue from the new 2016 Commander set. So let's bring up the first card. That is going to be Coastal Breach, which is 6 colorless and 1 blue, but it has Undaunted. So this is the ability where the spell costs 1 colorless less to cast for each opponent. And the ability of this spell is return all non-land permanents to their owner's hands. So if you play with enough opponents, this is going to just be a 1 or 2 mana, return all non-land permanents. This is going to be very good.
So we just saw in white the Sublime Exhaustion, where it was just the Wrath of God. Same cost, same skills.
The Wrath of God, they don't allow them to regenerate.
They don't allow them to regenerate, but this is
good.
very blue. This is very in the color wheel of blue.
This is basically the overload of the Return to Ravnica's card that had the overload. I can't remember the name of it right now.
Yeah, I like the white one. I like the blue one. If I'm playing white-blue, I think the white one goes into my deck only. I don't think I want both of them. And I think the white edges it out. But if I'm not playing white, I think this is a very good substitute in the blue style.
Yeah, this Commander deck has a few of these bounce spells. I think they have Evacuation in it, which they reprinted. And this goes really well with that theme of returning permanents to their owner's hands. This can be very annoying for many players. It's sorcery speed, so that's fine for what this ability is. But having 2 mana bounce all creatures, or all permanent, non-permanent permanents is very strong. I think this will be seeing a lot of play.
Gets rid of those enchantments, gets rid of those artifacts, maybe those vehicles we might see in Commander now.
Tokens will definitely suffer greatly from this.
Tokens, yes, but
yeah, let's go into the next card here. This is going to be the deep.
The one thing I want to say about Coastal Breach before we move on is that artwork is probably some of the prettiest I've seen in Commander so far.
This artwork is beautiful. I love that giant tidal wave hitting this almost seemingly unknowing town.
And seeing the birds just casually fly over, like, yeah, this is just another walk in the park for us. Really stunning artwork there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I love that artwork. I might just get a copy just to have.
Yep.
Here we're moving on to the Deep Glow Skate. It is 4 colorless and a blue. It is when it comes into play, double the number of counters on any permanent you control. It's a 3/3.
So important to know that it doubles the counters on permanents, so it doesn't go into any infect strategy. You can't double the infect counters, but I can easily see this going into a Commander heavy deck with a lot of Planeswalkers, or a lot of those +1/+1 counters. This can do some real damage.
Yeah, this is like Proliferate on steroids. Proliferate is the ability where you get to choose any number of permanents and put an additional counter. This is doubling all the counters on any number of target permanents. And it doesn't say target permanents you control. So that means you can double the number of -1/-1 counters on other opponents. Or you can make deals with them to double their Planeswalkers. That's what Commander is always about, too, is you scratch my back, I scratch your back. And this does play very well into that whole mindset.
And the fact that it's an enter the battlefield, it's not cast, means I can blink this guy. With Eldrazi Displacer in this world, I'm always thinking about how can I abuse that. So,
well, you have to remember, too, they just recently printed a blinking Planeswalker in Kaya.
This is true.
Kaya and this guy will go very, very friendly together. They will be best friends. I think this is another win for blue. They don't normally...
Blue is 2 for 2.
Now we have Fairy Artisans, which is a 3 colorless and 1 blue flying 2/2 Fairy Artificer. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's an artifact in addition to its other types, and then you exile all other tokens created with Fairy Artisans. So it's essentially a clone effect for whatever your opponents are playing. It's a strong ability. I wouldn't say this card is busted, but I think it's very fair at a 4 cost for 2/2.
4/4 for 2/2. The issue I have with this card is a lot of text, and I had to read it 3 or 4 times before I even understood what was going on, because I'm thinking it exiles the token it just created, and then I'm just left with I had no idea what was going on. And to me, Magic is complicated enough. A card like this is just unnecessarily complicated. I don't want a PhD just to understand if the card works or not. So this to me is a fail. I am sure once I get there and I start playing with it and I get to see it do its cool thing, it seems like a card that could be really interesting, because I automatically always have an answer to the card you just played because I have a copy of it. But it's making me jump through a lot of hoops just to understand it.
Yeah, I read this immediately and got it, but that's where we differ. I understand the cards pretty well when they usually come out, but to me, I like this card in a few facets. I mean, when someone's playing a lot of the enter battlefield effects that are very strong, this is going to be very good for you. If they play a lot of these weirder enter battlefield effects, like if you have like a Phyrexian Dreadnought and they have some things that kind of abuse those, it's going to kind of punish you for it. But I think overall, getting a token of whatever an opponent's playing, however, it's just going to change so frequently. You're going to be playing with, 6 people, and it's just going to exile tokens almost every time.
So, a thought occurs to me now. Dubious challenge with this. The Kaladesh card that nobody wants to see in draft, nobody wants to see anytime. But if I get a copy of the creature that you choose, makes it a little bit better.
Dubious challenge is never good. There is a dubious challenge to play with that card.
You can't fault me for trying to make it good.
I can. We're going to move on to our next card, which is Grip of Pharisees, which is a 2 colorless, 1 blue instant that is going to gain control of target equipment. Then you create a 0/0 black germ creature token and attach it to that equipment. So this is very flavorful for that Phyrexian block. Which
I'm hoping we're going back to. And I think cards like this is just proving to me that the Phyrexians are still out there. We will find them, and they will destroy all of us.
Yeah, we're not going to go back to Phyrexia for a little bit. And they're not going to do 2 artifact cycles in one standard. But this is very flavorful for that. I mean, you see the Sword of Body and Mind and its, maw there.
I don't know what it is, but it is awesome. It is ugly. It is disturbing. And
it's one of the germs.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, this is very flavorful for that. I don't know how useful this card is going to be in any format, really. I don't know how many equipments people are really going to be playing in Commander that are, unless you know your play group very well, I'm not going to be putting this in my main deck.
Yeah, this seemes like a card that would be a sideboard in Standard or Modern, but Commander doesn't really get use of a sideboard, so...
Yeah, I mean, you could use this on your own equipments, but I just don't see the payoff of getting a Sword of Body in mind with a 0/0 attached to it.
Yeah,
I would rather just
much.
play a card that attaches to it.
And our last blue card is...
Alright, this is Manifold Insights, and it's 2 colorless and 1 blue. And this sorcery has a lot of text as well. So this is going to be reveal the top 10 cards of your library, starting with the next opponent in turn order. Each opponent chooses a different non-land card from among them. Put the chosen cards into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order.
In a random order.
Oh, random order. I'm sorry. So yes, this is going to be a very good draw spell. I mean, most likely you're probably going to hit 4 or 5 lands out of this, and if you have 5 people, you're going to get all those cards. So that's going to be a draw 5 for 3. That's going to be very good. I mean, in a one-on-one match, this card is probably pretty terrible.
Yeah, this is definitely a Commander-centric card, meant for those big Commander games. I'm probably drawing at least 3 on this.
Yeah, you're drawing at least 3 if you're playing Commander. I wouldn't think you'd be playing a Commander. I mean, you could play Commander games with 2 or...
They do have those formats, but draw 3 for 3 is a very playable card. I'm probably going to get the worst of the 10.
But you're guaranteed to not draw lands, what's very important about this card. Is not drawing those lands is just so relevant. You'll be hitting 3 non-land cards for 3 mana. That's, I think, a win there.
I'm okay with that. Absolutely. So, as we did with our white batch, what do you think is the best blue card of the batch?
I'm probably going to go with this Manifold Insights. I like that card a lot. I think it's great. But if I want to do for flavor and deck building reasons, I might just go to Deep Glow Skate. I love playing my Planeswalkers, and nothing makes me happier than doubling all of the counters on it.
I have to agree. I think doubling the counters on Planeswalkers, on my +1/+1s, this is the card to me that says, play me now and just watch the fun happen.
Yeah, the Deep Glow Skate looks to be the most powerful and fun, but I think the draw is probably the real winner here. That drawing is going to just be so massive, especially the bigger Commander games. You'll be drawing maybe even 6 or 7 cards in one if you play a big enough game. I've seen some of our games at our local game store that will play 6 people, 7 people at them. You're going to be drawing a lot of cards for 3 mana, and that can almost just win you games there.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you're playing with 6 people, you probably got 2 lands in the 10. So even if you're giving the worst 6, it doesn't matter. They're still going to be good cards.
Oh, definitely. And they're not lands, so that would be helpful.
The lands are automatically out. So that'll do it for the MTG Planestalkers. That was the blue. We'll see you next time for the black cards. This is Rez signing off.